Oh crap, I forgot my coffee. All right, so today is November 27th of 2024, and let's go over yesterday's price action as well as the outlook for today. So yesterday was interesting. All right, so yeah, so yesterday was interesting because it took me well, I had a win in the morning. Because in the morning I liked that we had already swept buy side, which was right here, right? So we had swept buy side and price continued to draw higher. It did reject this breaker here. Obviously, I did not notice that during my foot. So once I noticed that price already swept buy side, what I expected was I wanted to see price sweep sell side, right? So, and that happened during the 10 o'clock macro. So during the 10 o'clock macro, I mean during the 9 o'clock macro, again we had already swept buy side right here, and I wanted to see sell side get swept because I was bullish, right? I was bullish. I wanted to see price draw down into this area here, and then I wanted to see that draw higher, which happened eventually. But again, so it happened during the 9:30 open. Actually, right before the 9:30 open, I was looking to get short up here somewhere, and obviously it happened later on over here, and I probably should have noticed that, but whatever, that's fine. So come into the day, I start watching here. We see price sweep buy side, and then I start noticing this inversion here. As soon as price draws lower, I start thinking, okay, so I do think we're gonna sweep this sell side here, draw into 50% of the range, and then we start drawing higher. But obviously that didn't happen. We consolidated, and then we drew higher after the 1400 macro, um, which is actually pretty cool. But once I realized once I saw once I saw ES already sweep buy side, I wasn't interested anymore. I kind of wanted to see the price consolidate or just continue drawing higher and then show me some structure later on. So again, I did get short up here. Once price closed below these two inversions here, as soon as it closed on the 5 minute, you can actually see it as well. As soon as it closed, I got short right here, covered uh, my first. Actually, I wanted to cover down here, but once I started seeing price just sort of consolidate, I wasn't. My intuition just told me to just get out, and I'm glad I did. Um, and another thing was that we were so close to 9:30. I did not want to have that, those quick moves to the up or downside. I did not want to get stuck in that, so I just covered that, and then obviously price ran buy side again. I wasn't interested anymore because again, all I was saying was I want to see price draw into 50% of the range, into this 50% of the range. That's exactly what happened. Price swept, drew into 50% of the range. Came back during the 11 o'clock macro. I still didn't like it because ES had drawn equal lows here, and you never want to trade at equal lows, right? 11 o'clock macro, we were right here. Actually, we were right up here, and I still wanted to see price sweep sell side. ES had already swept sell side, so and then it kept there, but still, obviously, still I was not interested. So gave it some more time. After this, during lunch, we just started consolidating, right? We started consolidating, and my plan or what I want to see with price action is I always want to see that double purge. I want to see that double purge, because if that double purge happens, once that double purge happens, that's when I start looking for an entry. Come back at 1300, nothing still. We're still consolidating. And I still want to see this sell side get swept. Um, and then I didn't want to short here. I didn't want to short the FOMC minutes, because here we had SMT up here, and I knew that we were coming down here to sweep these lows here. Same thing here. We swept buy side here, right here. Actually, it's better to see it on the 5 minute. Right here. Okay, so we had already created buy side and sell side. Sell side was down here, buy side was up here. And so on NQ, on ES, we swept buy side here. You could have gotten short here, covered down here at sell side. Same thing here. We did not sweep buy side here, and then we came down to sweep sell side. SMT at the highs. But since my bias was bullish, I started looking at these lows here. Price traded into this 1 hour gap here. And here you had a 15-minute unicorn right here, right? 15-minute 1 hour unicorn here with this breaker block here, 1 hour gap. And the strongest unicorns are always the ones that have a gap. If it's bullish, it has that a gap, and then that breaker block, which is right here. And obviously, price did not trade into that area here. It reversed at consequent encroachment of that gap. And so here, this is that 15-minute breaker block. When you're trading the 15-minute breaker block, you have to look at the 1 minute to see what price is doing. And as you can see here, price trades into this breaker block here, this unicorn here. You get a draw lower. You get what do you call that? You get a swing high here, swing low. Price breaks, closes above. You have microstructure shift, and you use this inversion right here to get in for the 1500 macro. But again, I didn't like this one. I actually wanted to see NQ, because NQ to me, because this one had already swept buy side to me, and I wasn't interested. The next buy side there was the previous day high. But what I was interested on NQ more, because you had these clean highs here, right here, and this was the better of the two, especially for me, because I really like the model on the 1 minute, right? This order block right here was not as clear to me, even though you can see it, not as clear to me. But this one was very clear to me. You get that final push down, and I like it. I like when that order block has those big candles. All right, you get that order block. You get market structure shift as soon as price closes above, and then you have this gap right here, and then you enter in the 1500 macro. Again, time is always the best thing. Time is one of the most important things. So if this right here, if this setup was drawn here at 1430, I would never take it, right? I'll only take it if price on the higher time frame draws into 50% of the range, 1 hour gap, 1 hour breaker block, unicorn setup, and then you get long right there with a stop right below this low here, or with a stop right at this low down here, right? So I get into the long right here. I cover one here, and I cover the rest up here. I actually covered one right here. So three contract minis, actually micros, but again, micros are just, that's all you need. You don't need to trade minis, because with minis you get into $20 contract, and why would you want to be dealing with that? Why would you? Because when I get in with minis, it's like the pressure just goes up, and if you trade like I trade, I usually leave my buy stops at 30 points, or I try to limit my stops at 30 points. But with minis, if you use 30 points of a stop, that's almost $600. Why would you want to go through that stress? So I like trading micros. Micros are perfect for me. So two good wins, uh, 2 good wins on that. Short in the morning, long in the afternoon. So today I'm expecting price to continue drawing higher. I'm still bullish. Higher time frame array is bullish for me. Well, higher time frame bias is bullish. Price come in and take sell side. Today is the day we'll most likely not trade. But unless I don't know, unless I see something during Asia London, then maybe I'll trade. So again, we have buy side here with previous day high, sell side here, the intraday afternoon low right here. We already met the objective on ES. On NQ, we have yet to meet the objective, which is the previous day high, or maybe this becomes the previous day high. So during Asia, I kind of want to see just consolidation, or I want to see price come down and sweep this low. Right, that would be the best type of price action for me, because if it sweeps this low, then I know that at least we'll get we'll get maybe an opportunity where price draws into 50% of the range, or it takes out the previous day high. But if it comes down and sweeps this low, then no trade for me. I'm not looking to short today. I'm still looking to get long, but I do understand that we already finished this market maker buy model here. But on NQ, we have yet to finish that objective, which is up here on this market maker buy model, which is sell side of the curve, buy side of the curve. But again, first I want to see sell side get swept. So if anything, I'm probably only going to trade the 10 o'clock macro. Are there news? Yeah, there are in about 7 minutes. Uh, okay, so most likely I probably, if I do end up taking a trade, it'll probably just be at 10 o'clock one time, and that's it. I don't want to trade past. I don't want to trade 11, 13. I don't want to trade in the afternoon at all, because we most likely will just get consolidation or some sort of weird, maybe seek and destroy type of profile, where we just keep on sweeping the highs and lows. And when you trade like that, you want to trade from the highs, or you want to short the highs or long the lows, and you want to take your profits at 50% of the range. So let's go ahead and see what the Asia and London session did. I can remove this SMT now because, again, the objective has already been met, so I can move that. And this one, I'm not going to move it just yet. I mean, I should move it, but because we haven't met the objective yet. So let's see what it did overnight. Actually, let's start with the daily. Okay, cool. So we have relative equal lows at the low. Nice. We already swept previous day high. So now the objective should be the low here, right here. We closed yesterday on the daily. We closed above this inversion. Well, above this gap here, turns into an inversion. I don't expect price to come down here anymore. Maybe after we take this high. We're still closing below consequent encroachment here. But yesterday we finally closed above this gap here, turns into an inversion. So nothing on the daily. We've been holding above this daily unicorn here. Let's look at the 4-hour. So on the 4-hour, we took out buy side, took out sell side a little bit here. Yep, we took out buy side. So we should be trading, drawing into 50% of this range here. We haven't yet, and as you notice here, it aligns with that with this 15-minute unicorn right there. Same thing here. We're still, well, we just traded into 50% of the range, but again, we have sell side liquidity right here, right below equal lows, and we might hold at this 1-hour unicorn here. So there is SMT at the highs between this high and this high here, this high and this high here, first stage SMT, second stage SMT between these highs down here. So right now, to me, this is the objective, draw on liquidity. But that doesn't mean we're not gonna sweep the lows anymore. We might sweep the lows and then come back down and sweep the highs. I mean, we might sweep the highs and then come back down first. We are holding above this gap here, but I don't like it. I don't like it when you have these types of wicks and then you have this tiny little wick here. It doesn't tell me yet. So I'll see. Talking about raise just yet. The only thing is where price is headed, where it's going, what highs it's taken. Because to me, the first thing I'm paying attention to is liquidity. So liquidity to me is the most important thing. And then after I notice where liquidity is headed to, or where the liquidity is, that's when I start paying attention to PD arrays. So let's take a look at that 60-minute. Okay, so we have to take buy side, right? On the hourly. Okay. So to me right now, this is sell side. We have relative equal lows down here. Is this the same? We have it swept 4.25, and this one is 3.75. So it almost swept that pool of liquidity down here. So we have relative equal lows as well. We are holding below this gap here, right? We are holding below this gap here, but and we do have a breaker here on the hourly. Price rejected that area, but I'm not sold just yet that this is where price starts drawing lower. So because I'm still bullish, I'm not interested in getting short there, at least on the 1 hour. I can remove this now too. Yeah, I'll remove that because again, we are holding above this 15-minute unicorn here. I don't expect price to come down here anymore, but maybe we do still. The only thing I'm looking for is, again, a sweep of this low and then maybe some sort of SMT. Uh, this low here, actually, which low is it? Yeah, I believe it's this low. Okay, so with ES, I do not want to see price sweep this low because if it does, then that SMT or uh, that's the type of SMT I'm looking for where price sweeps a low on ES. Well, this low here, but does not sweep this low, whereas NQ sweeps these lows and then draws higher. So right now, I don't have anything. I like the structure, but let's take a look at the 15-minute. Yeah, I'm not going to draw this right here because as you can see, it already closed above the body of this candle, already closed above this gap here. So that's technically an inverse. So I would like to see price sweep buy side and then maybe we get that draw lower, right? So I want to see price sweep this area here or up here and then draw lower. This reminds me of, where is it? Right here. Where in the morning, swept buy side, and then in the afternoon, it came down to sweep sell side. Right, so that's the type of price action I'm looking for, or something like this one right here, where it sweeps buy side and comes back down to sweep sell side. So I'm looking for the same thing here. Um, but if it comes down to sweep sell, you know, so draw 15-minute. So on the 15-minute, we already swept buy side here, here, but I'd be happier if it swept here. Okay, we're holding above these gaps here. Again, we have a double purge here. So yeah, I like this setup. We swept sell side first. When you're looking to get short, you want to see price sweep sell side, and then you want to see price sweep buy side. And it has already filled these gaps here. So I would not be surprised if price draws down here. Same thing here. It did not sweep sell side, but that's actually kind of one of the signs I like seeing. If I see it on both sides, that's cool too. But if I see it on, the only thing I have to see is I have to see it on one side, on one pair. If it happens on both pairs, then that's cool too. But if it happens on one pair, that's fine, right? So again, we are holding below an hourly gap here. We're trading lower now. Let's take a look at the 5-minute. And I think it's going to happen maybe during the 0930 open. We have this right here. This looks like BPR where you have sell side delivery and then buy side delivery. Now it's holding here. So I am bearish. I do believe down here is the draw on liquidity. But now that sell side has been taken on the 5-minute, because we already saw that on the 15-minute, right? So now I want to see buy side get taken one more time. So whether it takes this high or this high, I want to see displacement afterwards, maybe going into the 10 o'clock macro, and that'll be my setup if I get it. If it doesn't happen, then no biggie, because I'm not planning on trading the 10 o'clock macro. I mean, I'm not planning on trading the 9:30 macro yesterday, but I am planning on trading the 10 o'clock macro, and then after that, I'm not planning on trading anymore. If I don't see it again today, I do have to leave early again. So if it doesn't happen by 10 o'clock, then I'm out. Because again, a day before Thanksgiving, not worth it to trade. At least not in the afternoon session. So take a look at the 1-minute. And the 1-minute, I still want to see price sweep this vertical highs here and right here. Same thing that I go down here. Wait, one thing I forgot. Yeah, discount. So yeah, sellers have been engineering liquidity. I mean, uh, buyers sweep liquidity down here. Okay. Yeah, ideally I would like price to come down here because to me there's no entry up here. I took a look at 1 minute and I just didn't like the entry or anything. But if we're gonna trade short, then I would like for price to come up here, sweep these this high or this high up here, and then we get a draw lower during the 10 o'clock macro. Or we immediately draw down here, sweep these lows, and then we have some sort of reversal right where I get in here long and I target these highs. But again, today I'm not looking to stay in for too long. So if I do take that trade, then I'll be looking for just 50% of the range, which is right here, or however low it goes, target 50% of the range. And maybe this high here, or whatever other high is drawn there. Yeah, I don't see an entry in the 1 minute here. Maybe ES and NQ does show me something. The whole purge maybe right here. But the objective would be these lows here. So the objective has already been met on the minute. So no, no, for me. So we have 15 seconds until the open. Yeah, I would like to see a draw into these areas here, and then maybe some consolidation, double purge, and then we get that draw higher. So whichever way it goes, I have a plan for each. So hopefully, what I'm looking for happens. I need ES to come down here as well. So it looks like I was right. We just swept the low there. So now what I'm long opportunity. Yeah, I'll be looking for a draw higher, but obviously it's not 10 o'clock macro yet. It's not 9:50. I am also watching this low here. However lower it decides to go, it's fine with me. I just need to, I just needed to see a low get swept, and that's it. I'm still bullish. This right here was the draw on liquidity, and it's already been relative equal lows. But all I needed to see was NQ do that. So now I'm looking for something during the 950 macro. I'm not gonna zoom in just yet because when you zoom into the lower time frames, when you zoom into the 5 minute or the 1 minute, price is obviously moving really relatively quick. And when price does that, you it entices you into jumping into the market. It makes you jump into the market. It plays with your emotions. And I've done this so many times that I just don't want to deal with that. And so I could have jumped in. I could have jumped in short and maybe try to catch this move, but why? You know, uh, there's no reason to. So now we're at 50%. We're at discount here now between this high and this low and this high here. Uh, this unicorn here on the 1 hour I only use the bodies of the candles. So the bodies of the candles will tell me a lot because now I'm thinking, okay, so I'm watching this unicorn. So during 10 o'clock, I want to see price close up here. I want to see price close above 50%. I don't care about the wick. I just want to see the body of this candle close up here somewhere. Or even if it closes up here, that'd be great. See, right now we're trading from imbalance to liquidity. Hmm. See, I don't like that the ES here. So NQ is kind of lagging, but that's fine. I think we'll see a pretty good setup here, hopefully. All right, so it does seem like we're going to sweep these lows here. So I'm watching this imbalance too. Okay, so we are trading from imbalance to imbalance now, but still watching this unicorn here. Did we sweep this low yet? Not yet. So now we have relatively close again. Okay. Let's take a look at the 15-minute. Oh, I just remembered there was SMT here yesterday. Right here, I think it was. I think it was this one. Yep, right here. This low and this low here, and this low and this low here. So I would like to see this low get swept. Damn, I just remembered that. Just a quick sweep. That's all I want to see. And then now that we have this run, I'll only be targeting 50% of this range. So however lower it gets, I'm only targeting 50% of the range. Because here, from this low to this low here, price retraced only to 50% of the range, right? So objective has already been met, and the objective down here might actually, did it sweep that low yet? No, it didn't. Okay. So it could be targeting this low as well. So if we target this low, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a 5-minute order block to get drawn or a 1-minute order block to get drawn. Once we get that, I want to see how price reacts. And if we have 2 consecutive order blocks drawn, then I will target that low. I haven't moved this gap yet on the 1 hour because obviously this low hasn't been swept. So technically this gap is still in effect. We got 10 minutes until the macro starts. All right, so we just swept those lows. Great. So I wouldn't be surprised if this low does not get swept. Because again, this is that SMT I was talking about. It's right here. If you zoom in out to the 60-minute, you'll see it. This is why I was bullish yesterday also. First stage SMT, second stage SMT right here. And this was during the macro too. Where's it? Right here. These 2 lows right here. So we're moving from imbalance to imbalance. Again, price moves in 4 ways. Imbalance to imbalance, imbalance to liquidity. Let's see here. Imbalance to imbalance, liquidity. Actually, no, this right here. Liquidity to, it hasn't taken these lows yet. So it'd be liquidity to liquidity because there's no imbalance here. And then from here, from imbalance to liquidity, or from finally, what was it? Liquidity to liquidity, imbalance to liquidity, liquidity to imbalance, and then imbalance to imbalance. So right now we're doing imbalance to imbalance to imbalance. It's actually better to see it on the daily because on the daily you can actually see, you can tell, right? If it took out the high, then it took out liquidity. If it took out the low, then it took out liquidity. If it drew into this imbalance, it drew it into imbalance. So pretty simple. Here, it took out these lows right here, so it moved from liquidity to imbalance, and vice versa from high to low. I got that from what's his name, Dan Dowding on YouTube. Okay, so I like this right here. We have, nope, not gonna do it yet. But I see sell side, I see buy side getting created. We technically have SMT at the lows now. Yep, SMT at the we took out lows here on ES on NQ. ES has not done it yet. All right. So I'm watching how the 15-minute is closing. So this 15-minute here, after it swept these lows here, looks like it's going to close up here, which is fine. But let's take a look at the 5-minute. Uh, 30 more seconds, and then I'll zoom into the 5-minute. Okay. All right. So let's see here. So I liked how it closed. It still closed up here, right here at this unicorn. Here on ES on and we have market shift to draw into this high here. This to me is the objective. If this comes on here, ideally I would see higher, maybe displace higher. Draw me a 5-minute gap. Oh wait, 5-minute. I forgot to do. One minute we took out outside get taken. But again, it only has to happen on one pair, and happen on NQ. We have this 5-minute order block right here. This is if you are looking to get short. Pretty big imbalance here. Take the 1 minute here. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we just took out buy side. Right, so now I want to see sell side get taken. This is the 15-minute low here. Again, I want to see place on yes. Maybe leave me a gap here. If it continues drawing higher, then I'm not interested. I want to see sell side get swept. Cool, cool. Let's just keep watching the 5 minute. What the 1 minute looks like. So now again, I want to see sell side get taken. And it aligns with this low right here. But if it doesn't happen, then I'll just let it go. And then if I jump in long here, then my first objective will be 50% of the range here. And then I'll be watching this gap here. And what I want to see is I want to see price start closing above first consequent encroachment. And then above, actually it's this right here. Above the body. The body, I want to see price close above here so that I could target these highs up here. But again, first I want to see sell side get taken. And if it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen. What is wrong with my computer? Oh, there it is. Macro started. Actually, I just thought about it. Might get a short opportunity here. Let's take a look. I don't like trading the 15 seconds, so I'm not even gonna give it a try. Yeah, see, all of these lows right here is generated liquidity. So I'm not looking to get long here, only to have myself get stopped out here. So no way. If if I was playing the 1500 macro, I would want to see how this breaker acts. We have a tiny little imbalance here. Actually, no, never mind. It could sweep this low here and then reverse, but ideally I would like to see this low get swept. Okay, so we just swept that low. So now I'm watching this right here. There's already SMT at the low, so I'm not worried about that. Maybe we draw an order block. But again, ideally I would like to see this low get swept. And then if that reversal happens, I'll jump in. If not, then I won't jump in. I like this setup. If we get a draw into this area here, I'm going to take a short just to target this low up here. Try to catch a couple of points there. Looks like we're not going to get that. All right, that's fine. If we sweep this high, I'm going to get short and target this low down here. But I don't know. We'll see. Perfect. Okay, so we swept that low. So now I'm watching. I'm watching to see how this area holds. Because now this becomes the order block here. But I have to wait and see how that candle closes. That order block, I like how price closed there. So now I'm watching this right here. Okay. This right here is a 5-minute up close candle. If I get long, I want to see price start closing above these areas here. This right here is that order block. Target this low here. Withdrawing liquidity is up here right now if I decide to get long and if that reversal comes in. But nope, looks like we're just going to continue to draw lower. Okay, so at this point, the only thing I'm interested is what happens within the next few minutes. I want to see big up close candles. If I don't see that, I want to see candles like this one right here. Like this one after the other. If I see that, I'm going to get long here. If I don't see that, then no entry. Again, I'm targeting this high here as my first objective. And my stop would be about 26.75 points. Very ideal. I want to see this turn into an inverse. But I do have to be leaving here soon, so I want to see how that candle closes. All right, I think I'm going to take a shot here. All right. Okay, so I'm long there, 3 contracts. This is with the anticipation that I want to see price close above here. If I don't, then I'm just going to take it off. Got a tiny little gap here. I don't want to see that close. And if I do, I'm not messing around this time, so I'll just get out. But yeah, I do have to be leaving now. So have a great Thanksgiving. I'll see you tomorrow.